Everyone. Good evening, everyone. I am Raghavendra SM. I have done my masters in forestry, and I am known as Card Raghu on the Twitter. And today I am very lucky and privileged to introduce Dr. Hitalamani, Dr. S.V. Hitalamani. He is a leading horticulturist in our Karnataka, and Dr. S.V. Hittalmani is a retired additional director in the State Department of Horticulture. He has served 38 years in the horticulture department, and after his retirement is helping the farmers and the urban residents with planting and beautification and landscaping activities. Dr. Hitalmani sir, I introduce to my participants. They are urban enthusiasts, mostly residents of Bangalore, and the stage is yours, sir. You can carry on.
Shall I start?
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Are you seeing me and hearing?
Yes, sir.
Then I will start saying good evening to all the participants. And also I express my special thanks and gratitude to Mr. Raghavendra, who has arranged this program for me, and he has brought to the screen. I should thank him, and also all his associates who are helping him. Dear participants, today we are talking about the issue of urban tree planting, and also we call it as in various ways we call and one of the wings of this urban tree planting is avenue tree planting. And we all know avenue tree planting has got a very long and purposeful history. In India, it dates back to the times of Ashoka the Great, who ruled the northern and central part of India during the 3rd and 2nd century BC. And in several and numerous inscriptions of Ashoka found throughout India, there is a clear-cut mention of reference about planting of trees all along the trade route and all along the roads where people were walking. There are edicts in this regard. He made a very strict order to all the provincial chieftains and also his subordinates who were in charge of this activity to compulsorily plant the trees on either side of the main roads as well as even the small interior roads. And after this, now the tradition continues with the various rulers who followed Mauryan dynasty. Several people, and it continued up to even Mughal empires. Mughal empire emperors also did lot, and later on, it came to the hands of British. This is as we think about India as a whole. Coming to Karnataka, and that too Mysore state, erstwhile Mysore state. Here also we have got a very long, prolonged history of avenue tree planting. And the earliest reference of this goes back to the rulers of Kadamba dynasty. They ruled from 3rd century to 5th century. And there also, during their period, lot of tree planting took place, especially avenue tree planting. They planted the traditionally the trees which were available during that time, and they made use of all these trees to plant along the avenues and roads. Later on, the tradition continues with Hoysalas, Chalukyas, and later on culminated in a very big way with the Vijayanagara emperors. And again, if you come to the recent history of Hyder Ali, Tipu Sultan, and Wadayars, you will get ample evidence about planting of avenue trees. There is a clear-cut evidence, and also a lot of supporting things are there about planting of avenue trees during the regime of Nayakas of Keladi and Ikeri. Even now we can see massive and very old dhupa trees near Sagar, Siddhapura, Talaguppa, and also nearby areas. Even now you see massive dhup trees, Veteria indica, planted on either side of the road they are huge, they have attained the huge size, and they are not less than 300 years old. You can see even now also. Later on, no, after 1800, after the fall of Tipu Sultan, and when the administration went to the hands of British, alongside they took control of the Lal Bagh also. Lal Bagh was the royal garden of Tipu Sultan, and it went to the hands of the victorious British. They found lot of potential in that. They found that it can be developed into a botanical garden, and that idea flashed to them. And there were several people who took care of Lal Bagh in the early days. Early days, that means between 1800 and 1835. Large number of botanists or taxonomists who were working with the militia of British military people, and they helped to take care of this royal resort called Lal Bagh. The really good fillip and turning point was when the British government declared Lal Bagh Botanical Garden as the State Botanical Garden in the year 1856. And afterwards, systematic development of this botanical garden took place under the able administrators who were called superintendents of the botanical garden. There were many of them. There were Benjamin Maine, Major Wagg, Nathaniel Wallich, William Munro, Sir Mark Cubbon. All these were very able, and they did a lot of introductions into Lal Bagh, getting planting material from across the globe. They brought a lot of planting materials because they had global connections. They had got a lot of access because whole world was in their hands. They brought a lot of planting materials from the old world as well as the new world, to which they had gone. And large quantity of planting material was brought into Lal Bagh, and Lal Bagh was the testing ground for all the new species of trees. And they planted them. They found out the suitability and acclimatized them. Later on, they took them to the field. And during the period of one Mr. John Cameron, who was administering Lal Bagh in the capacity of superintendent of botanical gardens between 1874 and 1908. For over quarter century, he did a marvelous work in introducing planting material from various parts of the globe. He introduced them into the Lal Bagh Botanical Garden and tested about their acclimatization. And the next person, successor of Mr. Cameron, G.H. Krumbigal, who took all these tested plants to the field. That means he took all these plants to the parks, gardens, and avenues. That credit goes to him. Both were very, very able. And G.H. Krumbigal was there between 1908 and 1932. And even beyond that also, he has done a lot of works, and his contributions are there, especially for urban horticulture and for introduction of English vegetables, replanting, and so many other things he has done, and all these are to his credit. And this is the brief history of the introduction and planting and taking of planting materials to the avenues. Now let us come to the crux of the problem. Which are all the plants that are suited for the avenue replanting? Whether we are really going on in a right way with all these plants, or the problems which are encountering. All these are the issues, and what are the compelling forces that are there for and against these avenue trees, and what are the problems, what are the good points, how we have to overcome all these problems, how we have to promote the avenue trees. All these are the issues which are to be discussed. Now I will take up the issue. What are the right and good qualities of an avenue tree? That is the first and the foremost thing we should look into. We shouldn't and we need not plant anything that comes to our hand and plant them as avenue trees. Sometimes it has happened in the past, and that has produced very negative results. That this means we should plant only the right species to that climate, and right species to that environment, and right species to that particular soil. We have to look into all these aspects. First one, let us come to the right species as far as climatology is concerned. Bangalore, coming to Bangalore, because we are concentrating more on Bangalore today and maybe Karnataka in general. Looking at Bangalore, Bangalore is a tropical area. To be precise, Bangalore is a cool tropical area, and it is located at 12-degree latitude north. Here, the climate is tropical, cool, and it is, I can say, moderately humid. Here, most of the tropical species do very well, and some of the subtropical species also do very well. But temperate species, although they do very well in the initial days, but they will not last for longer period. They don't have longevity here under the tropical conditions. That means what implies to all of us is tropical plant species do very well under Bangalore conditions. That means first and the foremost point is we have to select the tropical types which can grow very well under Bangalore conditions. That is the number one. Second one, what we should look into is, are there any special requirements regarding avenue trees? Whether we need avenue trees for shade, whether we need them for aesthetic purpose, whether we need as a supporting, I can say, habitat for birds and animals. That is also there. All these aspects are to be looked into. First, we need two aspects very clearly. First one is we need these avenue plants for aesthetic purpose as well as shade. That is there because during summer, people take shelter under the trees. People try to sit, try to walk beneath the trees to avoid the scorching sun. Second one is the aesthetic aspect. These avenue trees, apart from giving shade and serving other purposes, should also look good with their graceful foliage and also wear colorful, I can say, flowers. Colorful flowers are to be there. And most of the times we need both. We need foliage trees as well as flowering trees. This goes according to our requirement. Whenever we need foliage plants, we have to give stress and impetus to the foliage trees. And whenever your intention and your requirement is more of flowers, more of colors, and we should go for the flowering trees. Avenue trees are not necessarily planted on highways or state highways or major roads, but they are planted in the institutional areas also, in the campuses, in the schools, colleges, hospitals, offices, and there are various factories. They also have got a lot of avenues internally, in the internal, that means campus. There also a lot of avenues are there, a lot of avenue tree planting is there. In Bangalore, more than the roads, we can see more of avenue trees in the institutional campuses. That means the requirement of the institution is also very important. What type of plants they require. We have to inquire with them, we have to discuss with them, and accordingly we have to provide the foliage or flowering or dual purpose trees. This is another thing. And third one is the trees which we are going to plant should be a fairly hardy type, not very succulent or not very susceptible to the elements of elements of environment such as winds, rains, humidity, such as like that. It should be very hardy. It should be able to grow with a little water, and you should overcome the drought if necessary. These are the requirements. Another thing is that it should have the deep root system. Many times what happens, some of the trees do not have proper root system. And adding to that, lot of digging activities, lot of disturbing activities will also be going on. That again adds to the weakness of the roots. And we see result is that many trees fall down, topple. This is one of the worst things that is happening in the cities, in the city avenues. That means to overcome this, you have to select such plants which have got deep root system. They go straight, not disturbing the sides, not disturbing the power lines or water lines or drainage lines. They should go straight and give proper encourage to the trees. This is another thing. Another next aspect we have to look into is that they should have, I can say, perennial foliage property. This is called evergreen nature. In contrast to this, there are types which are deciduous. They shed their leaves. Most of the times they shed their leaves. But perpetually green or perpetually foliage plants or deciduous type of plants it is, I can say, a relative thing. Some people like that, and some people may not like that. Some people like the plants which retain their leaves throughout the year. In that case, we have to go in for the evergreen plants. But some people do not mind the trees becoming nude without foliage for a part of the year, and later on they will produce flowers. That's why they also need flowering plants. In that case, we will go for even the deciduous type of plants also. And another thing we should look into is that whether it's the flowering plant or foliage plant, we have to give also the priority. Mostly nowadays, that is going on, that discussion is going on. We should give priority to the native types. They are telling you, let us plant the native ones because they have got better adaptability than the exotic types. There's a discussion going on here also. The organizers have given me the list of topics on which I should speak. This is one of the issues, whether should we go in for exotic types in preference to or in contrast to the native types, local types. This is the issue, I can say. This leads to a hot debate. We need both because there is not much diversity in the native flora of avenue trees. And a lot of trees, whether we like or not, in the last 250 years, a lot of tree flora have been introduced into India. They are with us. They are serving our purpose. They are providing beauty, foliage, and other uses also. That means we can't just because it is the exotic one, just because it is brought from outside, we shouldn't treat it as untouchable. We have to accept and adopt it also and use for the purpose for which it is needed. And those who are very, I can strict, and they are liking the tradition and they love the traditional ones, field is open. They can opt for the local types. There are many local types or the traditional trees of India. ಆರ್ ಪರಂಪರಾಗತ ಗಿಡಗಳು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾವಲ್ಲ, ಪರಂಪರೆಯನ್ನು ಬಿಂಬಿಸುವಂತಹ ಗಿಡಗಳು ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಅಂಥದ್ದು ಬೇಕಾದಷ್ಟು ಇವೆ. ಮಾವು ಇದೆ, ನೇರಳೆ ಇದೆ, ಸಾಲ ಇದೆ, ಬಿಲ್ವ ಇದೆ, ತಪಸಿ ಇದೆ, ಬೇಕಾದಷ್ಟು ಇಂಥವೆಲ್ಲ ವೆರೈಟಿ ಇದೆ. ಸುರಿಗೆ, ಸುರವನ್ನಿ, ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ದು ಹಳೆಯ ಕಾಲದ ಗಿಡಗಳು. ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಗೋ ಇನ್ ಫಾರ್ ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. ಸಂಪಿಗೆ, ಚಂಪಕ, all these are there. Lot of exotic flora is there. Even temperate flora, some of the temperate flora are also used for avenue tree planting, I can say. Pine trees, no, although it is a temperate flora, I have seen in certain parts in Karnataka itself, somewhere near, when I was traveling near between Hassan and Sakleshpur, that area, I have seen even pine trees on the roadside. Maybe an exception. Not always it is done. Maybe forest department people might have planted for the trial purpose. It is there. I have seen another temperate flora, which is native to Nilgiris, that is Podocarpus species. That is also a temperate flora, but it does very well under tropical conditions. I have seen Podocarpus plants planted in Bangalore also in certain campuses. That means the issue of exotic versus the native plants is, I can say, relative. A relative plant, maybe if you look from the point of emotion, it may be it may be a little, I can say, an issue of discussion. Let us leave it at this point. Now let us go to the other issues. Next, from where we have to fetch all these plants? We can fetch the plants from the nurseries which are spread all across the state, everywhere. And there are hundreds and thousands of nurseries in and around Bangalore. We can source all these. We can source from the forest nurseries. Forest department has got large number of nurseries within the city area itself. We can go there and we can find out, and large number of plants they produce it. And we can get the planting material from countless private nurseries, and we can get from the even government sources from Lal Bagh Botanical Garden, Kappan Park, and other departmental nurseries. We'll get, these are all the common sources, I mean. And also there are people who are adventurous, are getting plants from far off places from Karnataka, like Rajamundry, Calcutta, and they get from Pune. Then Trivandrum, they get from all these places the plants which they like. This is going on in a very big way. And also raising of these plants, raising of avenue tree plants has become a very profitable venture. There are highly specialized nurseries in which large number of avenue trees are produced of different sizes. Plants of even 3 feet, 4 feet, 10, 12, 20, 25 feet tall and big massive plants also, they are available in containers, in various containers. Maybe prices may differ. Maybe these plants, the bigger plants, cost very pretty, I guess. They are there and they may be very costly, but there are some people who employ these tall and bigger plants to have a quick results. Some people need it for the development of campus in a very short period. They employ all these bigger plants in a very big container. That is there. Now let us see what are the plants which are commonly found or commonly employed for avenue tree planting in Bangalore. Let us take Bangalore as a city, Bangalore as a metropolitan, and Bangalore having a big roads, maybe about 60 feet road, 80 feet road, 100 feet road. What type of plants we prefer for this type of situation? That is the issue here. And what are the plants which are seeing now? That is also another issue. And at this point, I will tell another point. Long back, I was referring about G.H. Krumbigal, who was administrator and also superintendent of Government Botanical Garden between 1908 and 1932. He introduced a very novel concept or a practice of planting avenue trees, especially flowering avenue trees, in a sequential manner, so that they will produce the flowers at different times of the year. This implies at all the times of the year, one or the other trees will be in flower. And he termed this as color parade. And this color parade concept was practiced in Bangalore and also in the roads of Mysore, in the avenues of Mysore. This color parade concept has been produced about more than 75-80 years back. Even now we can see all these trees doing very well, and they are producing flowers during all the months of the year, one by one in a sequential manner. This is there. And there are plants, this all goes with a very careful selection. We have to select and let us know which are all the plants which are normally employed and which are good for Bangalore environs. I will just go on. Let us go on talking about. I will tell. Look, coming to the flowering trees. There are many, and I have made a list of these flowering trees which are normally planted under Bangalore environs. The first one is a group of very strikingly beautiful plants like the Tabubias. Tabubias are, I can say, one of the best flowering trees, or a group of best flowering trees under Bangalore environs. Although their nativity is in tropical America, they are well adapted to our conditions. Most of the species, there are species such as Tabubia rosea, Tabubia spectabilis, Tabubia ovallanidae, Tabubia donald-smithii, Tabubia pallida. All these are strikingly beautiful plants, and the beauty of these flowers, it's, I can say, it just you have to see and enjoy it. I can't explain it. Such a very good and very important group of avenue
सर
trees.
आपकी उम्र कितनी है?
These Tabubias. Hello, somebody is interfering. Hello, shall I continue?
Yes, sir. Yes. Please
Sir,
continue, sir.
sir, somebody introduced you. Somebody said that तुम्हारी उम्र कितना है? They are calling. I will ignore it and I will come. The second group of avenue trees, very important to Bangalore environs, is Acacias. Acacias is a very important. There are important species like Acacia javanica, Acacia renigera, Acacia marginata, Acacia fistula, and Acacia spectabilis. All these are very, very important species, and these are adding beauty avenues. In the last 100 years, large number of these plants have been planted during the period of British and even the later periods also. Large number of plants are there and extremely beautiful, like the Tabubias. Acacias are also very beautiful, And all these tabupias and cassias do not flower during only one period. Their flowering is almost spread during the entire year. Different species produce flowers during different periods. That is another advantage. For example, in case of tabupias, there is one rare species called Tabubia avalanidae that produces flowers during midwinter, November, December, January, with all pink, strikingly beautiful pink balls. Very good flowers like that. In case of Cassia marginata produces flowers over a period of 7 or 8 months. These are all the advantages with this. Next comes the group of Lagerstromias. Lagerstromias are strikingly beautiful plant. Lagerstomia speciosa and Lagerstomia floss reginae. They are very good, and they are adding beauty to the Bangalore avenues since long.
Sir, one ನಿಮಿಷ interrupt ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕನ್ನಡ ಹೆಸರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಒಳ್ಳೇದಾಗತ್ತೆ ಸರ್.
ಹೇಳ್ತೇನೆ.
Okay.
ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ನೋಡಿ, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಮಿಲ್ಲಿಂಗ್ಟೋನಿಯಾ ಅಂತಿದೆ ನೋಡಿ. ಮಿಲ್ಲಿಂಗ್ಟೋನಿಯಾ ಹಾರ್ಟೆನ್ಸಿಸ್ ಅಂತ ಇದೆ. ಇನ್ ಕನ್ನಡ ಮಿಲ್ಲಿಂಗ್ಟೋನಿಯಾಸ್ ಆರ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಆಕಾಶ ಮಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಅಂತ. Sky jasmine, Akasha Mallige, very tall and stately trees with a gracious foliage and white colored fragrant flowers. And this Millingtonia produces flowers during the entire rainy season, starting from June, ending up to October. During the entire rainy period, the large number of flowers will be there in bunches, and very stately and very, I can say, striking plant. And it goes very well with the avenues of Bangalore. And adding to that, this tree is a fragrant flower producing species. Next comes the Peltophorum ferrugineum, commonly called as copper pod tree. Copper pod tree. It produces yellow colored flowers with a massive tree with a very, I can say, deep root system, very strong built up. And it produces, after flowering is over, it produces very beautiful copper colored bunches of fruits. That's why it is called copper pod tree. This is also one of the important plants. And there is another plant that we call it as Mayflower tree. This is Delonix regia or Gulmahar or Gold Mahar. This is one of the, I can say, most reddish flowering plant. There is no other flower which is as red as Delonix regia or Gulmohar. Nowadays, we are discouraging this plant because it has got a very weak built up and also very weak root system and supple branches. There are many accidental deaths because of falling of this tree. That's why nowadays, Bangalore City Corporation and PTA, including the private institutions, they have given halt to planting of Delonix regia or Gulmohar because of the accidental fall. Next, Spathodia campanulata. Spathodia campanulata, Kannada it is called Uchchekai Gida anta ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ.
सर थोड़ा सा मनी प्लांट के बारे में बताइए.
ನೋಡಿ, Uchchekai Gida, Spathodia campanulata or African tulip. This is there in large number in Bangalore. One of the most vividly seen avenue trees of Bangalore is this Spathodia with the scarlet flowers against the dark green foliage. And here also the flowering period is well spread. It starts flowering from and it goes on until January, February. It goes for 7 or 8 months. And next come Dolly Chandron platycalyx is another plant which is very important. So the avenue tree of Bangalore, it produces yellow colored flowers and also very broad leaves, very graceful leaves. And in Bangalore, many times Champaka is also used as avenue tree. Champaka means Sampige. There are plants which produce the flowers throughout the year. That Champaka is called Baramasi, that produces flowers almost throughout the year. And Champaka is also planted in most of the, I can say, residential avenues. That means the planting of Champaka started by CITB, then BDA, Then it continued during the, even now also by BDA and also corporations. Avenue trees of Champaka are very common under Bangalore environs. Then Bombyx Malabarica, not very common, but here and there we will come across this red silk cotton as an avenue tree. And it is, I have seen Bombyx Malabarica in several institutional avenues. Then nowadays, in the last 15 or 20 years, another plant has made into, I can say, forefront in Bangalore environs as an avenue tree is Anthocephalus Kadamba. Kadamba is a traditional plant. Even in it has got a mythological significance. Kadamba, it is attached to or it is dedicated to Lord Krishna. And this Anthocephalus Kadamba is a beautiful plant with a very sequential and alternate branching pattern, and produces a big and shiny and also very beautiful flowers during particular period of the year. Then next avenue tree, which is commonly found, especially in the institutional avenues, Saraka indica. Saraka indica is a Sita Ashoka. There are other species, Saraka.
सर आप म्यूट हो गए। म्यूट यू आर म्यूट। आवाज नहीं आ रही है सर आपकी। सर म्यूट हो गए हो आप।
Host, can you unmute doctor? Can you unmute him? Host.
सर
ರಘುವರೆ host ಗೆ unmute ಮಾಡಕ್ ಹೇಳಿ. host ಗೆ unmute ಮಾಡಕ್ ಹೇಳಿ.
Tejo.
Sorry, host can't unmute, sir. You will have to unmute yourself.
No, not me. Doctor.
No,
Doctor.
I know the doctor, sir, you will have to unmute yourself, sir.
ಇಲ್ಲ ಅವರು ಫೋನ್ ರಿಸೀವ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. सर सर
सर सर कहाँ हो आप? सुन रहे हो सर?
सर सर
Raghu, doctor can't see you because he is on his phone.
Yes, yes. 1 second, 1 second. He has not saved my number, so he is not receiving. Sir.
अनम्यूट करो सर, क्यों समझ नहीं रहे हो आप?
अनम्यूट ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ನಿಮ್ದು, ಅದು ಮ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ. ತೇಜು ಅನ್ಮ್ಯೂಟ್ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಲೆಫ್ಟ್ ಇಗಲ್ವಾ?
ಹೌದು.
ಹಾ.
मेडिकल वैन भी मारता है जो डॉक्टर आदि सही बात है। नींबू तो विटामिन सी और एसिड से भरपूर होता है।
ಹಾ ಅನ್ಮ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಸರ್.
ಇದು ಅನ್ಮ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆಯ್ತು. ಈಗ ಪಿಕ್ಚರ್ ಕಾಣ್ತಾ ಇದೆ?
ಹಾ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಸರ್.
ಈಗ ಕಾಣ್ತಾ ಇದೆನಾ?
ಹಾ ಹಾ.
ಈಗ ಪಿಕ್ಚರು ಕಾಣ್ತಾ ಇದೆನಾ?
ಹಾ ಸರ್ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ.
ಪಿಕ್ಚರು ಕಾಣ್ತಾ ಇದೆನಾ?
ಹಾ ಸರ್. ಹಾ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ.
ಆಗ ನೋಡಿ ರಾಘವೇಂದ್ರ ಅವರೇ, ಶಾಲಾ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ.
ಹಾ ಎಸ್ ಸರ್ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ.
ನೋಡಿ, now let us go to foliage avenue plants. Foliage avenue plants are those plants which are appreciated for their beautiful foliage or leaves. There are many such plants which are employed for avenue tree planting in Bangalore and Karnataka and also various other places in South India. The first one is, I can say, Ajadirachta indica, neem. Neem is even now, although it is a traditional tree, even now it is appreciated for its very graceful and very beautiful and so the foliage. Although there are flowers which are inconspicuous, it is not appreciated from the point of small minute flowers, but the foliage of this is appreciated. And second one is Pongamia glabra or Pongamia pinnata, which is locally which is known as a Pange. Pange anta tavu kelirbadu. Pange is known for its classical shade, and this is one of the, I can say, the native plants of Karnataka, and this is found growing everywhere, and it is also employed as avenue plant. Then another plant which is commonly planted nowadays is Felicinium decipiens. Felicinium decipiens anta heltare. In the earlier years, maybe during the 50s, 60s and 70s, to make the flower bouquets, the leaves of Felicinium were to be used. And the outer whorl of bouquet used to be finished with the Felicinium leaves. And this Felicinium plant or tree grows straight and it's very strong and lives for a long period. It lives for more than 100 years. And even now it is employed as one of the best avenue trees for Karnataka. Then very massive tree that is found throughout Bangalore and throughout Karnataka, everywhere is rain tree. Rain tree or Samania saman. That is a very big tree, massive tree, and it is known for its dome-shaped canopy. That's why it is called rain tree. From distance, it looks like umbrella, and it remains evergreen for a longer period, and it becomes leafless for a very short period. Again, it develops the foliage. And because of rain tree only, Bangalore was called the air-conditioned city, because rain trees were in large number during 70s and 80s. Nowadays, their population has come down because of various reasons. And this tree helped to keep Bangalore environments in a cooler conditions. And the credit of making Bangalore as an air-conditioned city certainly goes to this tree, rain tree. Then next comes Polyalthia longifolia. Polyalthia longifolia is a tree that is known for its straight growth. Many people, even now also, although there is a criticism about this tree for various reasons, even now it is employed for avenue tree planting, especially in the small avenues along the paths in gardens or in the institutions. Polyalthia longifolia, it is also called false ashoka or Madras ashoka. This is also employed. Then next comes Swietenia mahogany. Swietenia mahogany is the plant. Nowadays, it is preferred for planting even the block plantations for timber purpose. And at the same time, it has got its very strong place with regard to avenue tree. And it has got a history of nearly 100 years. Since last 100 years, large number of these plants are planted in different parts of Bangalore and also in botanical gardens, several botanical gardens in South India, including Lal Bagh Botanical Garden and also in Kabam Park. And next one is Alstonia or Alstonia scolaris, devil's tree. This is also very nice looking, very beautiful tree with a good foliage, shining light green foliage. And it produces a long hanging pods after the flowering is over. And although there are flowers are inconspicuous. This is very nice tree. In GKVK campus, if anybody go there, they can see at the in the surrounding area of the administrative building, on either side of the roads, you can see beautiful Alstonia scolaris trees growing. And next, Acacia auriculiformis and Acacia mangium. These two are also planted in a very large number under Bangalore environs and elsewhere also. Throughout Karnataka, I have seen even on either side of the highways in several parts, I have seen Acacia auriculiformis and Acacia mangium grown. And next comes Melia dubia and Melia ajadiracta. Melia dubia is called Hebbevu in Kannada. Has it become mute?
No, sir. We can hear you. We can hear you.
You are hearing, no? No, we can use these Melia dubia and Melia ajadiracta. And Melia dubia is Hebbevu. It is grown for even timber purpose also. whereas male Ajadirapta is called Persian lilac. Apart from the beautiful foliage, it produces the mauve-colored flowers during the rainy season. Then there is another plant which is known for its massive size. It is called Tapsi in Kannada language, and its scientific name is Holoptelia integrifolia. It is found growing and thriving very well under South Indian conditions. In Tamil Nadu, I have seen large number of these plants all along the highways. There I have seen, and also in Karnataka also it is planted intentionally in several avenues. Then Albigias and Aluritis fodi are also employed as avenue trees in the recent times. Then the Pterocarpus mysorensis, Vanne is also has become avenue tree in certain places. Vanne is known for its timber, valuable timber. Next to teak comes Vanne, and at the same time it has got a very good value as avenue plant. Then Dalbergia latifolia and Dalbergia sissu. These are all called black woods. Karimara ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ನೋಡಿ, ಕರಿಮರ ಬೀಟೆ ಮರ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ, ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ 2 ಸ್ಪೀಸೀಸ್ ಇವೆ, ಡಾಲ್ಬರ್ಜಿಯಾ ಲ್ಯಾಟಿಫೋಲಿಯಾ, ಡಾಲ್ಬರ್ಜಿಯಾ ಸಿಸ್ಸು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. ಇದನ್ನು ಸಹ ಅವೆನ್ಯೂ ಟ್ರೀ ಅಂತ ಬೆಳೆಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಬೇಕಾದಷ್ಟು ಕಡೆ ಇದೆ ಇದು, ಎಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ ಮಲೆನಾಡಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ನೋಡಿದ್ದೇನೆ, ಸುಮಾರು ಏರಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ದೀಸ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಗ್ರೋನ್ ಇದು. ದೆನ್ ಮಿಮುಪ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಸೆಲಿಂಗಿ ಆರ್ ಬಕುಳ ಆರ್ ರೆಂಜಾಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ರೆಂಜಾಲ ಆರ್ ಬಕುಳ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ತುಂಬಾ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿರೋ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ವಿತ್ ಅ ಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಕೆನಾಪಿ, very nice shining leaves and very small sized inconspicuous flowers hidden inside the canopy, and it produces orange colored small fruits which are edible. They are eaten by even children also, and also birds and monkeys and squirrels eat and live on these fruits. This is also a very useful tree. And Terminalia arjuna is planted as a very massive and long durable avenue tree along the highways. That is, in local language it is called Bidimatti or Valematti ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. Very strong tree, ತುಂಬಾ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಕಾಣುತ್ತೆ. Then Terminalia catapa is a country badam ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. It is a very quick growing plant and it provides very beautiful shade. For quick results and for the purpose of shade, it should be planted. It is Terminalia catapa or country badam ಅಂತ ಹೆಸರು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ಸಿಂಗಾಪುರ್ ಚೆರಿ ಅಂತ ತಾವು ಕೇಳಿರ್ಬೋದು. ಸಿಂಗಾಪುರ್ ಚೆರಿ ಇದೆ. ಸಿಂಗಾಪುರ್ ಚೆರಿ is also planted as a quick growing avenue tree for the purpose of shade. It is being grown. Even now also it is preferred both in institutional campuses as well as in the public roads. Then Terminalia moschata, and there is again a subspecies called Montali. This is of very recent introduction, but it is a very beautiful plant or tree producing branches at different heights. Stage by stage it produces branches and looks very beautiful. And this is planted, I have seen Terminalia moschata planted in many institutional avenues, and also along the road that leads to airport, internal campus road. There also I have seen Terminalia moschata in fairly large number. And classical or traditional avenue trees are there, and they are with us, and I have already referred about them. And among them are the seedling types of mango. And neem is bevu anta heltare. Atti, Ficus glomerata, atti also produces fruits. Birds, monkeys and squirrels eat on this. Then as ala, Ficus and the bengalensis. Then Ashwatha ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ನೋಡಿ, Ficus religiosa or people tree, it is there. And Hippe, Maduka latifolia, and Basari, Ficus infectoria, Goni, Ficus mysorensis. All these are the traditional tree species that are that were planted during the periods of Hyder Ali, Tipu Sultan and Wadiyars. Even now we can see in old avenues where where the planting was taken up during the 18th and 19th century, these plants were preferred. At that time, these plants were given a lot of preference because all these trees were traditional ones. They were adapted to the local climate, and they lived for a long period, and they were very hardy also. And they had, apart from giving shade, shade, and they produced food to large number of animals and also birds. That was the advantage. And the question of already I referred the question of native versus exotic plants. This is a debatable issue, I can say. If you want the beautiful the flowering plants, you should go for the exotic types, because most of the exotic types have got very brilliant colored, very strikingly beautiful flowers. We have to go in for, already I have listed. And if people have got liking for the traditional values, and also if they are caring mostly for the shade and also for sustenance of the various other life forms in the environs, such as birds and animals, they can choose the traditional or native avenue trees.
Sir,
And next is how to take care of the avenue trees.
sir,
This is very important thing.
sir,
How to take care ಇದು.
sir,
Hello.
ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಇಂಟರಪ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋಣ ಸರ್.
ಹೌದು ಹೌದು ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ, ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ.
Okay, if there are any questions, please unmute yourself and ask the questions. Madam, Brunda madam. Unmute ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ and you can ask the questions.
Okay. Good evening, sir. ನನ್ನ ಹೆಸರು Dr. Brunda ಅಂತ.
hello,
ನಮಸ್ತೆ.
ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ ಹೇಳಿ.
ನನ್ನ ಹೆಸರು ಬೃಂದಾ ಅಂತ.
ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ ಬೃಂದಾ ಅವರೇ, ಹೇಳಿ
We
ಪ್ಲೀಸ್.
live in Kuppam on PS College camp. ನಾವು PS ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕುಪ್ಪಂ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋದು.
ಕುಪ್ಪಂ is in
ಕ್ಯಾಂಪಸ್
Andhra
ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬಾ
Pradesh.
ಟ್ರೀಸ್ ಇದೆ.
Kuppam is in Andhra Pradesh. Andhra Pradesh.
Yes. Yeah, I live there.
Adjoining to KGF.
ಹೌದು. It's the border area of Tamil Nadu and Andhra
Tamil Nadu and
Pradesh.
Karnataka.
ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ, ಸಾರಿ. ಯಾ ನಾನು ಅಲ್ಲೊಂದು ಟ್ರೀ ನೋಡಿದೀನಿ ಸರ್. ರಘುಗೆ ಫೋಟೋಸ್ ಕಳ್ಸಿದೆ. ಐ ಡೋಂಟ್ ನೋ ಹೌ ಟು ಪುಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಹಿಯರ್, ಬಟ್ ರಘು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸೆಂಡ್ ಇಟ್ ಟು ಯು. somebody told me it's a wild lilac tree ಅಂತ. ಇದೆಯಾ ಆ ತರ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಟ್ರೀ ನಲ್ಲಿ?
ನೋಡಿ ಲೈಲಾಕ್ ಅಂತಿದೆ, ಪರ್ಷಿಯನ್ ಲೈಲಾಕ್. ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದೆ ನೋಡಿ. ನೋಡಿ
ಅದೇ ನೀವ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಿ ಒಂದು ಮಾವ್ ಕಲರ್ ಫ್ಲವರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ.
ನೋಡಿ ಮಾವ್ ಕಲರ್ಡ್ ಇದೆ, ನೋಡಿ ಅದು ನೋಡಿ ಮಾವ್ ಕಲರ್ಡ್ ಈಸ್ ಪರ್ಷಿಯನ್ ಲೈಲಾಕ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ.
Okay. That's the first time I saw that. It's beautiful.
I have seen this. I have seen this in different places in Bangalore, as well as I have seen in large number. I had been to 1 year back. I had been to Kodagu, Kurg. There I saw in one of the institutional campuses Persian lilac plant.
Okay. And is there another tree called as wild jasmine tree, which is very similar to this lilac flowers?
Wild jasmine or sky jasmine?
ಅಲ್ಲ, ಸ್ಕೈ ನೀವ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು ಅದು ಉದ್ದ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಸ್ಕೈ ಜಾಸ್ಮಿನ್.
ಸ್ಕೈ ಜಾಸ್ಮಿನ್ ಆರ್ ಆಕಾಶ್ ಮಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಆಕಾಶ್ ಮಲ್ಲಿಗೆ
ಅದಲ್ಲ. ನಾನು ಫೋಟೋ ರಘುಗೆ ಕಳಿಸಿದ್ದೆ ಎರಡೂನು. ಅದು ದೇ ಲುಕ್ ಸಿಮಿಲರ್, ದಿಸ್ ಮಾವ್ ಅಂಡ್ ದಿಸ್ ಜಾಸ್ಮಿನ್. ಜಾಸ್ಮಿನ್ ಇಸ್ ಪ್ಯೂರ್ ವೈಟ್.
ಹೌದಂತೀರಾ? ಓಕೆ. ಸೊ ಅದೇ ಫ್ಲವರ್, ಗಿಡದ ಫ್ಲವರ್. ಇದನ್ನ ಫೋಟೋ ತೋರಿಸಿದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತೇನೆ ಅದು ಯಾವ್ದಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು.
ಸರ್
ಅದೇ ರಘು ಕಳಿಸಿದ್ದೆ.
ಸರ್ ಅದು ಇಟ್ ಲುಕ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಮೀಲಿಯಾ ಸ್ಪೀಶೀಸ್. ಮೀಲಿಯಾ ಇದು ಯಾವ್ದೋ
ಮೀಲಿಯಾ ಡೂಬಿಯಾನಾ?
ಅಲ್ಲ, ಮೀಲಿಯಾ ಡೂಬಿಯಾ ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಸರ್. ಅದು
ಅಲ್ಬಿಜಿಯಾ ಲೆಬಕ್. ಅಲ್ಬಿಜಿಯಾ
ಅಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಒಂದ್ ನಿಮಿಷ, ನಾನು ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ರ ಹತ್ರ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದೆ. ಅವ್ರ ಹೆಸರು ಮೀಲಿಯಾ ವಲ್ಕೆನ್ಸೈ ಅಂತ.
ಹೌದು, ಮೀಲಿಯಾ ವಲ್ಕನ್ಸೈ ಇರ್ಬೋದು ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ. ಇರ್ಬೋದು. there are several species in Melia.
ಸರ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, ವಾಟ್ಸ್ಆಪ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಕೇಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಮೇಡಮ್.
ಹೌದು, ಇಲ್ಲ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ನೋಡಿ.
Okay.
Thank you madam. Thank you.
No, thank you sir. It was very interesting.
Thank you all. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
Welcome madam. Welcome. Thank you.
Of course, ಬೇರೆ ಯಾರಾದ್ರೂ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಅನ್ಮ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಕೇಳಿ. Yes, Sachin, unmute yourself and ask. Sachin.
Hello. Namaskara, sir.
Hello, namaskara. Please tell.
Sir, this is Sachin.
Please tell, Sachin, please tell.
ನಾವು ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಸ್ಕೇಪಿಂಗ್ ಕಂಪ್ನಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು ಸರ್. ಇದು ಅಡ್ಜಸೆಂಟ್ GKVK LNT ರೈನ್ ಟ್ರಿಪ್ ಬುಲ್ವಾರ್ಡ್ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಸ್ಕೇಪಿಂಗ್ ನಾವು ಮಾಡಿದೀವಿ.
ಹೌದಾ, ಸೋ ನೈಸ್.
ಬೇಸಿಕಲಿ ನಾನ್ ಸಿವಿಲ್ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರ್, ಬಟ್ ನಮ್ ಕಂಪ್ನಿ ಥ್ರೂ ನಾವು ಮಾಡಿರೋದು. ಸರ್ ಇದು ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಸ್ಕೇಪಿಂಗ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅಥವಾ ಏನೋ ಮಟೀರಿಯಲ್ಸ್ ಆತರ ಏನಾದ್ರು ನಿಮ್ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ಸಿಗುತ್ತಾ?
ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಸ್ಕೇಪಿಂಗ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಜನರಲ್ ಅಡ್ವೈಸ್ ಐ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಗಿವ್ ಇಟ್. ವಿ ಆರ್ ಇವನ್ ಹೆಲ್ಪಿಂಗ್.
No sir, even we are not belongs to that landscaping. Can we get any kind of materials or something related to that?
Yeah.
ಇದೆ ನೋಡಿ, you can take the training in Lal Bagh and Kaban Park. There are experts idarale. You
Okay,
can
sir.
go there and they will give free services. They will help. You can send your people or any concerned people or any person who is in charge of this can be sent for a week. He can get a good amount of knowledge. There are experts in avenue tree planting or campus beautification.
Okay,
You can send
okay,
them.
okay.
Lal Bagh, there are, I can say, very good experts are there in Lal Bagh and Kaban Park.
Okay. Sir, even outsiders ಹೋಗಿ ಕಲಿಬಹುದಲ್ವಾ ಸರ್?
Certainly, ನೋಡಿ, they are government organizations. They are helpful and they are friendly. They are people friendly. They will certainly help it. I will reference. You can give my reference, and also I will put a word to them.
Okay, sir. And if possible, please come to LNT, sir. I will be there.
I will come, certainly. I will visit once. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
ಸಚಿನ್, GKVK ನಲ್ಲಿ ಹಿಂದ್ಗಡೆ ಒಂದು ಆ ಕಡೆ MS ಪಾಳ್ಯ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಆರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಚರ್ ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸಿಟಿ ಇದೆ.
ಸರ್,
ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸುಮಾರು ಜನ ನಿಮಗೆ ಹತ್ರದಲ್ಲೇ ರಿಸೋರ್ಸ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಸಿಗ್ತಾರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ. ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲ್ಸ್ ಸಿಗತ್ತಲ್ಲಿ.
Okay, sir.
ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಫ್ಲೋರಿಕಲ್ಚರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಸ್ಕೇಪಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತಾನೆ ಇದೆ.
Okay, sir. ನಾನು ಹೋಗಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, sir. ನಾನೇ ಒಂದು ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕೇಳ್ತೀನಿ.
Please tell Raghavendra, please ask.
ಸರ್, ಈ ಎಕ್ಸೋಟಿಕ್ಸ್ ಎಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯ ಸಾಮಾನ್ ರೈನ್ ಟ್ರೀ ಈಗಿನ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್, ಈಗಿನ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಸ್ಕೇಪ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಬ್ಯಾಂಗ್ಳೂರ್, ಅಫ್ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಸಜೆಸ್ಟಬಲ್. ಈಗ ಅದನ್ನ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟಿಂಗ್ ನಿಲ್ಸ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅನ್ಸತ್ತಲ್ವಾ?
ನೋಡಿ, ಈಗ ನೋಡಿ, you can see only old plants, or we can plants which are self sown. Some plants are self sown. Accidentally they have come up here and there. Adan bitre intentional planting is almost, as you said, it is stopped. We can see even now you can see these Samanya Saman or rain trees in large number in military campuses. Bangalore is interspersed with vast areas of military campuses.
Yes, sir.
Air Force and also army campuses are there throughout Bangalore. Maybe they are spread over thousands of hectares, and there you can see large number of the rain trees even now. But intentional planting is almost stopped because they occupy vast areas, and they are causing nowadays some kind of nuisance.
ಅದು ರೂಟ್ ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಡ್ ಆಗಕ್ಕೆ ಜಾಗನೂ ಇರಲ್ಲ ಸರ್ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ.
ಹೌದು, because it grows, there is not much space for the root growth, and also it becomes too massive to be on the road, and it spreads, it grows too big.
ಬ್ರಾಂಚಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ
ಬಿದ್ದೋಗುತ್ತೆ. It causes accidental hazards ಎಲ್ಲ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅದರಿಂದ it has got less preference nowadays.
ಸರ್, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಮೆಲಿಂಟ್ರೋನಿಯಾ ಆರ್ಟೆನ್ಸಿಸ್, ಆಕಾಶ್ ಮಲ್ಲಿಗೆ. ಹೌದು, ನನ್ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಅದು ವೀಡ್ ಆಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ ಸರ್.
ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನೋಡಿ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾ? ಇನ್ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ವೇಸಿವ್ ಟೈಪ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಇನ್ವೇಸಿವ್ ಟೈಪ್. I will give another best and very horrifying invasive plant ಯಾವ್ದಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಪೇಪರ್ ಮಲ್ಬರಿ ಅಂತಿದೆ. ಪೇಪರ್ ಮಲ್ಬರಿ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ತಾವು ಕೇಳಿರ್ಬೋದು. ದಿ ಎಂಟೈರ್ ಕ್ಯಾಂಪಸ್ ಆಫ್ Indian Institute of Science and several other private institutions, public institutions, and including a part of this campus, my Bangalore Palace campus is infested with this invasive weed tree. That's called paper mulberry. Paper mulberry plant ಬೆಳೀತಾ ಇದೆ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಮೇಲ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಫಿಮೇಲ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತವೆ. ಇಟ್ ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಡ್ಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ವೈಲ್ಡ್ ಫೈರ್. ತುಂಬಾ ಆಗಿದೆ. And IISc campus people they are spending crores of rupees to weed it out. To cut it out, they are spending crores of rupees, and still it has invaded every nook and corners of the campus.
ಸರ್ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ
And
ಆರೆಂಜ್
ಇಂಥದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ-
ಫ್ಲವರ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ ಸರ್ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ?
ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ, ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಎರಡು ಇರ್ತದೆ ನೋಡಿ. ಇದ್ರಾಗೆ ಬ್ರೌನ್ ಕಲರ್ಡ್ ಫ್ಲವರ್ಸ್ ಮೇಲ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ದೇ ಆರ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಕ್ಯಾಟ್ಕಿನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಇದು ಫಿಮೇಲ್ ಫ್ಲವರ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ರೌಂಡ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಆರೆಂಜ್ ಕಲರ್ಡ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ.
I think I've seen that. Yeah.
ನೋಡಿ ತುಂಬಾ ಇದೆ,
ಹಾ.
ವೆರಿ ಬ್ಯಾಡ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಸೀಡ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಮೈನ್ಯೂಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಡ್ ಥ್ರೂ ಏರ್. ಇದು ಏರ್, ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಏರ್ disseminated and it grows as aerophyte also, epiphyte. It grows on the building also, it grows on building.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
ಅದರಿಂದ
ನೋಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ.
we should be careful about this. Another invasive plant is subabul. Nodi, subabul was introduced during 70s and now it has become a total nuisance. So subabul was introduced as a fodder crop. Now it is an invasive weed. It is more horrifying weed than even I can say pepper mulberry. It produces
ಅದನ್ನ ಸ್ಪೆಲ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಸರ್, ಅದ ಇವಾಗ ಹೇಳಿ ಟ್ರೀ ಹೆಸರು
subabul ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. subabul
ಸ್ಪೆಲ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅದನ್ನ.
SUBABUL. ಬಾಬುಲ್ ನೋಡಿ, ಬಾಬುಲ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬಾಬುಲ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಹಿಂದಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಜಾಲಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. ಸುಬಾಬುಲ್ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಜಾಲಿ ಅಂತ ಹೆಸರು. ಅದು ಒಳ್ಳೆಯ ಜಾಲಿ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಕೆಟ್ಟ ಜಾಲಿ ಆಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ.
ಸರ್ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ ಸರ್, ನನ್ನ ಹೆಸರು ವೆಂಕಟೇಶ್ ಅಂತ.
ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ ವೆಂಕಟೇಶ್.
ನನಗೆ ನೀವೊಂದ್ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ನನ್ಗೆ ಈ ಶ್ರೀಗಂಧದ ಮರಗಳದು ನಮ್ಮ ಹಳೆ ಮೈಸೂರು ರೀಜನ್, ಚಾಮರಾಜನಗರ, ಕೊಳ್ಳೇಗಾಲ ಆ ಸೈಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಶ್ರೀಗಂಧ ಒಂದು ವ್ಯಾಪ್ತಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ಪಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ ನಾನು. ನನಗೊಂದ್ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಅದ್ರದ್ದು ಒಂಚೂರು ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಗ್ರೌಂಡ್ ತಿಳಿಸ್ಕೊಡಕ?
ನೋಡಿ, ಶ್ರೀಗಂಧ ಈಸ್ a tree again. It can be used for plantations, but it is not used as a avenue plant. ಅವೆನ್ಯೂ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ ಇದನ್ನೇ. ಇವನ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನಲ್ ರೋಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ಇವನ್ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಪಾರ್ಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸಹ ಅದನ್ನ ಅವೆನ್ಯೂ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಅಥವಾ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಗ್ರೋನ್ ಆನ್ ಸೈಟ್ಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಪಾತ್ಸ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ಇದು. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಸ್ಪೆಷಲ್ ಐ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸೇ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇದು. ಏನಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂಚೂರು ದಪ್ಪ ಆದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಅದನ್ನ ಕಳ್ರು ಕಡ್ದು ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ. And it is a partial root parasite. It cannot grow properly on its own roots. It should be planted near a companion tree. One companion tree ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಅದು ಬೆಳಿಲೇಬೇಕು. ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ತುಂಬಾ ವೀಕ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತದೆ, ಅದು ಬೆಳೆಯಲ್ಲ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ. ಅದರಿಂದ ನೀವು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕಂಪ್ಯಾನಿಯನ್ ಟ್ರೀ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ದೆನ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಶ್ರೀಗಂಧ. ದೆನ್ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ದಪ್ಪ ಬೆಳೆದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಅದು ಕಳ್ರು ಅದನ್ನ ಕಣ್ಣು ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಕದ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಕೆಲವರು ಕಾವಲು ಹಾಕಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಇನ್ ಯಾರೋ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನಿಕ್ ಚಿಪ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಏನೋ ಹಾಕಿದಾರಂತೆ. ಬಟ್ ಯಾವ್ದು ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಈಸ್ ಫುಲ್ ಪ್ರೂಫ್ ಹಿಯರ್. ಇದು ಏನೇ ಇದ್ರು ಕಳ್ರು ಅದನ್ನ ಕಡ್ದು ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಅದರಿಂದ ಬೆಟರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಟು ಗ್ರೋ ಶ್ರೀಗಂಧ ಆನ್ ಲಾರ್ಜ್ ಸ್ಕೇಲ್. ಇದು.
ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಸರ್, ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.
Okay. Sir, so ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ನೀವು ಇನ್ನ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡಿ ಸರ್. ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಟ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಯಾವ್ದಾರು ಇದ್ರೆ.
ರಾಘವೇಂದ್ರ ಅವರೇ, ಅನದರ್ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಹೌ ಟು ಟೇಕ್ ಕೇರ್ ಆಫ್ ದೀಸ್ ಅವೆನ್ಯೂ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್.
ಎಸ್ ಸರ್.
ಹೌ ಟು ಟೇಕ್ ಕೇರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಹೌ ಟು ಮೇಂಟೈನ್ ದೆಮ್ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ ಗುಡ್ ಶೇಪ್. ಇದು ನೋಡಿ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಸಮ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಬೆಸ್ಟ್ ಇದು ಕ್ಲೂಸ್ ಐ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಗಿವ್ ಟು ದ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಹೂ ಆರ್ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟೆಡ್. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಇದೆ, ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಇಸ್ ದೇರ್, ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಇನಫ್. Second one is we have to train it and manage the canopy. Train it properly and manage the canopy periodically. That means from the ground for 6 or 7 or 8 feet, we should not allow any branches. It should grow as a single stemmed plant or tree. It should go straight, and from top onwards it should spread it. That means after 6 or 7 or 8 or 10 feet, it should start spreading it. This is the key thing. And second one is balancing of the canopy. Canopy should not be lopsided. Why trees fall? Because trees fall because of the imbalance of the canopy. If the canopy is lopsided, more on one side, there will be dead weight, heavy weight on that side, and it will topple. And especially during the times of winds, if a tree is not properly balanced, it will fall down. And that's why tree canopy management should be a regular practice. This is hardly practiced in India, I can say, but in the Western world, especially in Europe and also United States, Australia, Japan, China, tree canopy management is a regular activity. They do right from the day one, they do that, and continuously they do that. That is there. Otherwise, that tree will not be under your control. It will be going becoming wild and also going out of control and causing damage to itself. Suicidal agate, it becomes suicidal to the tree itself later on. ಅದರಿಂದ ನಾವು canopy management ಮಾಡಲೇಬೇಕು. And next, periodical pest and disease management. Many times what happens during the period of dry months, ಇವು ಬರ್ತವೆ, termites ಬರ್ತದೆ, root grubs ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ನೋಡಿ, they start eating the internal parts, maybe the wood as well as roots. ಅದರಿಂದ ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರಬೇಕು. whenever there is a damage, they gain entry through that damage. ಅದರಿಂದ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು immediately we have to treat that damage. ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಗಾಯ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ, like we treat our parts, our body parts, we have to treat the tree also. It is part of tree surgery. ಅದರಿಂದ ನಾವು, if there is any damage or any wound to the plant, we have to treat with the fungicidal and insecticidal paste. ಅದನ್ನು ಮಾಡಲೇಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. And also especially during the dry months, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ನೀರ್ ಹಾಕಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ, but we can give the treatment with fungicides and insecticides ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. And another very important thing is that pasting the tree protection paste. Pasting the tree protection paste to the trunk of the tree is very important aspect, because it prevents the potential damage caused due to termites and also other insects that bore the trunk. Trunk borers or wood borers are constantly waiting for an opportunity to bore the trunk. To avoid that, we have to periodically paste or paint the tree trunk with the stem protection paste, which is not available in the I can say pesticide shops. We have to make this paste by I can say putting 4 ingredients together. We have to make this paste, and we have to brush it to 3 to 4 or even 5 to 6 feet height of the trunk. Then that gives long lasting protection from the termites and borers. That should be there. Then another thing, especially in the beginning of the planting season, we have to give support. We have to make the plant to grow straight. If otherwise, what happens? Tree will lean on one side. I have seen several trees leaning towards the road, and this leads to a lot of, I can say, accidental touches to the vehicles passing through, and lot of accidents have happened. And this tree will be, I can say, nuisance and eyesore. Even the leaning trees or bending trees, and even the corporation people are not giving permission to cut all these damage causing trees. They are not even given permission for removing this type of trees also. And there are tree lovers and environmentalists, they will also come in the way of even removing this dangerous trees. That means the best way is to see that while growing itself, when it is young, we have to make it straight, and we have to see that it grows straight. It will not bend on this side or that side. That should be there. This is ensured by giving a proper stake and support. And another thing is that we have to give, I can say, tree protection, I can say cages. Tree protection cages sigutte. Adan made out of several materials. Even bamboo sticks inda madirtare, even mesh hakirtare. Sometimes they use even the grills also. Adrinda enagutte gotta, we will be guarding the plant when it is young, guarding from various I can say forces, damaging forces, like even grazing or even vehicle dashing against the trunk of the tree, growing tree. All these are the potential damaging things. Adrinda tree guard idre, it prevents the or it avoids accidental damages to the trunk. Idan ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ another thing is that whenever we notice the dried and diseased branches, we have to cut. This is not happening. Otherwise, if a damaged or dried branch is still hanging there or still clinging to the tree, that may fall at any time to the people who are passing through. It may happen. This has happened anyway. Sometimes back in the Royan circle, the one dried branch of Saman fell on one scooterist, and he died on the spot itself. In the Royan circle near City Market, this shouldn't happen. That means removal of the dried or I can say dead wood should be the regular practice. It should be done. And another thing is that some people suggested we have to give nutrients to the trees. I can say this is a very good, I can say, suggestion, but how to implement this? How to give? If you give nutrients means either you should give manure or fertilizer, And when you give manure or fertilizer, there should be sufficient moisture to make use of that. That is almost ruled out. And many times, no, there will not be proper place to put manures and fertilizers. But at the most, we can give some liquid manures in a limited way. We can give liquid manures, especially potassium. Potassium gives a lot of hardiness to the tree, and it gives resistance also. It makes the branches and also I can say canopy strong. And if there is a scope, you can give liquid fertilizers in a limited way. And another thing is that application of lime. Lime gives a lot of hardiness to the plant, and it makes the canopy strong. That we have to give lime again in a liquid, I can say, for formulation. We have to dissolve the calcium hydroxide. Sunna antide ನೀರಲ್ಲಿ ಕರಗಿಸ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಒಂದು 2 or 3 liters we have to pour to the trunk of the plant. ಇದರಿಂದ the calcium requirement of the plant will be there, because plant will be shedding leaves, and every moment and every year and every time lot of calcium will be taken out. There will be hardly any calcium left in the soil, in the root zone. That's why replacing or replenishing the calcium at the root zone is very important, and it should be done by application of calcium solution or calcium water or lime water. It should be done. Are there any questions?
Sir,
and there is another issue. And some people are suggesting that even fruit yielding plant should be planted as avenue. Again, this is a debatable subject. There are many fruit yielding trees which have got, I can say, potential or potentiality of becoming avenue trees also. For example, mango is there. Then jamun, nerede, different types of nerede is there. Nai nerede antide, jambu nerede antide. Nodi. Then tamarind. Nodi. Even avocado, I have seen in several areas of Bangalore, in hundreds of areas of Bangalore, lakhs of avocado trees. In the last 10 years, I can say not less than 1 lakh avocado trees are planted as avenue trees, especially in the extensions. In Ganganalli itself, Ganganalli and Sultanpalya area, Atinagar area, there are not less than 500-600 grown up with fruit yielding avocado plants as grown as avenue plants. Of course, this depends upon the liking of the people who are adjoining to these avenues. And if they prefer the fruit trees over the shade trees or the flowering trees, it's good. Let them plant the trees, avocado trees, or even mango trees or jamun trees. Like that, they can go. That is their preference. Some people have planted jackfruit trees. Jackfruit trees yielding heavily, and it is their preference. Nobody can say it should not be done, because it is not necessarily the shade or the flower. The meaning and also the requirement of avenue trees, the interpretation changes from time to time. Again, and here, there is a say of the stakeholders. The people who are residing nearby are the stakeholders, and if they say that their requirement is a fruit yielding tree as a avenue plant, okay, we have to help and guide them to plant those plants. These are all the developments that are happening. Is there any reaction to this?
Sir, ಈಗ ನಾರ್ಮಲಿ ತುಂಬಾ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಆಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಜಾಕ್ ಫ್ರೂಟ್, ಮ್ಯಾಂಗೋ ಯಾರು ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ.
ಮ್ಯಾಂಗೋ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಬಟ್ ಅವಕ್ಯಾಡೋ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ. ಅವಕ್ಯಾಡೋ ಬಟರ್ ಫ್ರೂಟ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಕಡೆ ಇದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಇವನ್ ಇನ್ ಅವರ್ ಏರಿಯಾ, ಇನ್ ಅವರ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಷನ್, ಇನ್ ಅವರ್ ಬೀದಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸಹ I have brought these avocado seedlings from nurseries and distributed to them. They have already planted and started getting fruits. ತುಂಬಾ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಬೆಳೀತದೆ, ಬ್ಯೂಟಿಫುಲ್ ಫೋಲಿಯೇಜ್, ಎವರ್ ಗ್ರೀನ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್, ಅಂಡ್ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಸಿಕ್ಕಾಪಟ್ಟೆ ಹಣ್ಣು ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. ನೋಡಿ, ಇವತ್ತು ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ರೇಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಸೀಸನ್, ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ರೇಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಅವಕ್ಯಾಡೋ ಈಸ್ ನಿಯರ್ಲಿ 350 to 400 rupees per kg. ಈ ಸೀಸನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ಆಫ್ ಸೀಸನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇಕಾದಷ್ಟು ಫ್ರೂಟ್ಸ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ ಕೆಲವು ಗಿಡಗಳಲ್ಲಿ. ಅದರಿಂದ ನೋಡಿ, ಸಮ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಲೈಕ್ ದಿಸ್. ಇದು ಏನ್ ಗೊತ್ತಾ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಚೇಂಜಿಂಗ್ ಟೈಮ್ಸ್, ಇವನ್ ಐಡಿಯಾಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಚೇಂಜ್. ಅದರಿಂದ ಇದನ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬಹುದು ಅನ್ಸದೆ ನನ್ನ ಪ್ರಕಾರ. ಅದೇನಿಂತ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಟ್ರೀ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಎ ಟ್ರೀ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಸಿಂಗ್ ನ್ಯೂಸನ್ಸ್. ಅದನ್ನೇ ಮತ್ತೆ ಇಟ್ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸ್ ಟು ಪ್ರೂನಿಂಗ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. ಇಟ್ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸ್ ಟು ಕೆನಾಪಿ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಈ ರೀತಿ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಯಾಕೆ ಬೆಳಿಬಾರ್ದು ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ಹೇಳಿ. ಅದರಿಂದ ಇವನ್ ಐ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಸಜೆಸ್ಟೆಡ್ ಇವನ್ ಕಾರ್ಪೊರೇಷನ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಅಂಡ್ BDA people to plant avocados. People like and people protect them. They will not allow it to cut by anybody. They will give nutrients. They will do canopy management. They will harvest and they will even erect the tree gods also, because it is helpful to this, helpful to the nearby residents. They take care of that.
Sir,
And this is one way of making those people as stakeholders. This is one of the, I can say, objectives of sustained avenue tree planting.
ಸರ್ ಇದು ಈಗ ನೀವು ಹೈವೇ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ದೊಡ್ಡ ರೋಡ್ ಮಧ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ, ಎಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ ಹೆಬ್ಬಾಳ ರೋಡ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ
ಹೌದು ಹೌದು
ಡಿವೈಡರ್ ಮಧ್ಯ ಈ ಫೈಕಸ್ ಬೆಂಜಮಿನ್, ಅದು ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೋ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಫೈಕಸ್ ಬೆಂಜಮಿನ್.
ಫೈಕಸ್ ಬೆಂಜಾಮಿನಾ ಇದೆ, ಆದ್ರೆ ಫೈಕಸ್ ಬೆಂಜಾಮಿನಾ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಲೈಟ್ ಇದೆ, ಫೈಕಸ್ ಬೆಂಜಾಮಿನಾ ವೇರಿಗೇಟಾ, ಫೈಕಸ್ ಬೆಂಜಾಮಿನಾ ಪಾಂಡಾ. ನೋಡಿ ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ ಆರ್ನಮೆಂಟಲ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಸ್ಪೀಸೀಸ್. ಅವು ದೇ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ನೋಡಿ they are not the avenue trees. ನೋಡಿ they should not be and cannot be planted. They are put for display only in pots on the medians, and temporarily they are planted in the medians. It is not permanent planting. Temporarily they are planted only for meeting certain I can say timely requirements. They have done temporary beautification ge ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅದನ್ನೇ. In most of the cases they are in pots, containers. ಅದರಿಂದ they are not permanent plants. Similarly, some of the medians ಅಲ್ಲಿ palms ಹಾಕಿದ್ದಾರೆ. No palm is normally grown as avenue tree. ನೋಡಿ ಏನೋ ಪಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಗಾರ್ಡನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಳಿತಾರೆ, ಅಥವಾ ಕ್ಯಾಂಪಸ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲವು ಕಡೆ ಬೆಳ್ಕೋಬಹುದು, ಬಟ್ ಸರ್ಟನ್ಲಿ ನಾಟ್ ಆನ್ ಹೈವೇಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ಇವನ್ ಬಿಗ್ಗರ್ ರೋಡ್, ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಸ್ ರೋಡ್ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾಮ್ಗಳನ್ನ ನಾರ್ಮಲಿ ಯಾರು ಬೆಳೆಯಲ್ಲ. ಪಾಮ್ ಇವನ್ ನೋಡಿ ಫಾಕ್ಸ್ ಟೇಲ್ ಪಾಮ್ ಗ್ರೋನ್ ಇನ್ ಕಂಟೈನರ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಕೆಪ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಮೀಡಿಯನ್ಸ್. ಅದರಿಂದ ನೋಡಿ ಈಗ ಅವೆಲ್ಲ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಫಾರ್ ಡೆಕೋರೇಷನ್ ಪರ್ಪಸ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಯಾರೋ VIP ಬರ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ಸಮ್ ಡಿಗ್ನಿಟರಿ ಕಮಿಂಗ್, ಅವಾಗ ಇಮಿಡಿಯೇಟ್ಲಿ ಕ್ವಿಕ್ ಎಂತ ನೋಡಿ ಬ್ಯೂಟಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಬೇಕಾಗಿರ್ತದೆ, ಪಾಮ್ಸ್ ತಂದು ಇಟ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ.
ಸರ್ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು, ಈಗ ಹೊಂಗೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಆಗಿರೋದ ಕಾರಣ ಅದು ಗ್ರೇಸಿಂಗ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ ಅಂತನಾ?
ನೋಡಿ ಹೊಂಗೆ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಗಾಟ್ ಅಡ್ವಾಂಟೇಜ್ ಆಸ್ ವೆಲ್ ಆಸ್ ಡಿಸ್ಅಡ್ವಾಂಟೇಜ್. ಅಡ್ವಾಂಟೇಜ್ ಏನಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನೋಡಿ, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಎ ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ವಿತ್ ಸೆವರಲ್ ಯೂಸಸ್. ಹೊಂಗೆಯಿಂದ ನೋಡಿ ಲೀಫ್ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅಂಡ್ ದಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಬಯೋಮಾಸ್ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. ಹೊಂಗೆಯಿಂದ ತರಗು ಅಂತ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. ದೆನ್ ಹೊಂಗೆ is a small medium sized plant, ಮತ್ತೆ it produces fruits also. Fruit has got various uses. Fruit ನಿಂದ ಆಯಿಲ್ ತೆಗಿತಾರೆ, ಫ್ರೂಟ್ ನಿಂದ ಕೇಕ್, ಆಯಿಲ್ ಕೇಕ್ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ, ದಟ್ ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಎ ಮ್ಯಾನ್ಯೂರ್. ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಇದೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಅನದರ್ ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನೋನ್ ಫಾರ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಕಲ್ ಶೇಡ್. ಹೊಂಗೆ ಶೇಡ್ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನೇ ಇವನ್ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಹಿಂದೆ ಲಿಟರೇಚರ್ ದಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಹೊಂಗೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವರು ಹೊಂಗೆ ಶೇಡ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಬರ್ದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದರಿಂದ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಮಾಡಿದೆ. ಅದ್ರ ಒಂದು ಡಿಸ್ಅಡ್ವಾಂಟೇಜ್ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ಟ್ರೀ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಲಾಂಗ್ ಲಾಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್. ಅದು ಬುಷಿ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತದೆ, ಅಂಡ್ ಮೇನ್ ಟ್ರಂಕ್ ಡೈಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಬ್ರಾಂಚಸ್ ಕಮ್ ಇನ್. ಬುಷಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಯು ಕೆನಾಟ್ ಮೇಂಟೈನ್ ಇಟ್ ಆಸ್ ಅ ಸ್ಟ್ರೇಟ್ ಟ್ರಂಕ್ಡ್ ಅಥವಾ ಸ್ಟ್ರೇಟ್ಲಿ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್. ಇದು ಡೊಂಕ್ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತದೆ. ಅದೊಂದು ಬ್ಯಾಡ್ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಲ್ ಇನ್ ಬಿಲ್ಟ್ ಡಿಫೆಕ್ಟ್. ಅದು ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ ಅದನ್ನೇ.
ಅಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ನಾನ್ ಪೆಲೆಟಬಲ್, ದನಗಳು ತಿನ್ನಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನೆಡೋದು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗಿದೆಯಾ ಅಂತ.
ಅದು ಇರ್ಬೋದು ಅನ್ಸ ನೋಡಿ. ಅದು ದನ ತಿನ್ನಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಒಂದು ಬಿಗ್ ಅಡ್ವಾಂಟೇಜ್ ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಹೇಳಾರೆ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಸಿಟಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ ಹಿಂದೆ ನೋಡಿ, ಹಿಂದೆ ದನಗಳಿದ್ವು ಬಿಡಿ, ಬಟ್ ಅವಾಗ ಅದನ್ನ ತಿಂತಾ ಇದ್ದಿಲ್ಲ. ಬಟ್ ಈಗ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಡೇದಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ದನಗಳೇ ಇರಲ್ಲ ಈಗ ಸಿಟಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ. ಅಥವಾ ಈಗ ನೋಡಿ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಕೆಲವು ಬಡಾವಣೆಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲವು ಬಿಡಾಡಿ ದನಗಳು ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಬಟ್ ಈ ಮೊದ್ಲಿನಷ್ಟು ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಟು ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ 30 or 40 years ಇವತ್ತಿಗೆ ಬೀದಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ದನಗಳು ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿವೆ. ಇಲ್ಲ ಸಾಕೋರು ಇಲ್ಲ ಈಗ. ಅದರಿಂದ ಆ ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಇಸ್ ರೂಲ್ಡ್ ಔಟ್. ಆದ್ರೆ ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಇವನ್ ನೌ ಡಿಸ್ಪೈಟ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಡಿಸ್ಅಡ್ವಾಂಟೇಜ್, ಇಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಗಾಟ್ ಮೋರ್ ಅಡ್ವಾಂಟೇಜಸ್ ದನ್ ಡಿಸ್ಅಡ್ವಾಂಟೇಜಸ್. ಅದರಿಂದ ಹೊಂಗೆಯನ್ನು ಸಹ ನಾವು ಬೆಳಿಬಹುದು. ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಟೇಕ್ ಕೇರ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಇನಿಷಿಯಲ್ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ಟು ಮೇಕ್ ಇಟ್ ಟು ಗ್ರೋ ಸ್ಟ್ರೇಟ್, ದೆನ್ ಅಲೋ ದಿ ಸಿಂಗಲ್ ಸ್ಟೆಮ್, ದೆನ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಬ್ರಾಂಚಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ತೆಗಿತಾ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಕೆನಾಪಿ ವೆಲ್ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ಡ್ ಕೆನಾಪಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ we can take it for about 50 years. 50 years ವರೆಗೂ ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಉಳಿಸ್ಕೋಬಹುದು. 50 ವರ್ಷ ಈಸಿಯಾಗಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ.
ಓಕೆ ಸರ್, ಬೇರೆಯವ್ರು ಯಾರಾದ್ರೂ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಕೇಳಿ. ಅದರ್ವೈಸ್
ಹಲೋ.
ಎಸ್ ಸರ್.
ಹಲೋ, ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ, ಹೇಳಿ ಪ್ಲೀಸ್.
ನಮಸ್ತೆ ಸರ್. ಸರ್
ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ.
ಮಲೆನಾಡಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಇರೋದು ಶಿರ್ಸಿಯಲ್ಲಿ.
ಇದ್ದೀರಾ?
ಹಾ ಸರ್. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಡಲ್ಲಿ ಅಕೇಶಿಯಾ ಮತ್ತೆ ನೀಲಗಿರಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಅದು ಲೀಗಲ್ಲ ಅಥವಾ ಇಲ್ಲೀಗಲ್ಲ ಸರ್ ಅದು?
ನೋಡಿ ಅಕೇಶಿಯಾ
Forest
ಆರಿಕ್ಯುಲಿಫಾರ್ಮಿಸ್, ನೋಡಿ ಅಕೇಶಿಯಾ ಆರಿಕ್ಯುಲಿಫಾರ್ಮಿಸ್, ಅಕೇಶಿಯಾ ಮ್ಯಾಂಜಿಯಂ ಅಂಡ್ ನೀಲಗಿರಿ ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ನೋಡಿ ಡ್ಯೂರಿಂಗ್ 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s ನಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬಾ ಇತ್ತು. ಈಗ ನೋಡಿ ಈವನ್ ಫಾರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅವ್ರು ಈಗ ಅಷ್ಟಾಗಿ ಪ್ರಿಫರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಅವಾಗಿತ್ತು ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ, ಅವಾಗ ಏನಂತಂದ್ರೆ ದೇ ವಾಂಟೆಡ್ ವುಡ್ ಫಾರ್ ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿಯಲ್ ಪರ್ಪಸ್, ಆ ಪರ್ಪಸ್ ಗೆಲ್ಲ ಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು, ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಅವರು. ಈಗ ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಸರ್ಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಟು ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಯುಕಲಿಪ್ಟಸ್. ಈ ಹೊಸದಾಗಿ ಯುಕಲಿಪ್ಟಸ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟೇಶನ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ತಾವು ನೋಡಿ ಇರೋದೆಲ್ಲ ಕಿತ್ತಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದರ್ ಟ್ರೀ, ಫ್ರೂಟ್ ಈಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಟ್ರೀಸ್, ಪ್ಲಾಂಟೇಶನ್ ಕ್ರಾಪ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇವೆ. ಅದರಿಂದ ಈಗ ಯುಕಾಲಿಪ್ಟಸ್ ಅಂತೂ ರೂಲ್ಡ್ ಔಟ್. ಬಟ್ ಅಕೇಶಿಯಾ ಮಲೆನಾಡಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬಾ ಇತ್ತು. ಯಾಕಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನೋಡಿ ಡಿಫಾರೆಸ್ಟೆಡ್ ಏರಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಕೇಶಿಯಾ ವಾಸ್ ದಿ ಬೆಸ್ಟ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಗ್ರೋ ಕ್ವಿಕ್ಲಿ. ನೋಡಿ ಅದು ಮತ್ತೆ ಫೈರ್ ವುಡ್ಗೂ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು. ಅಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಲೇಟ್ ಅದನ್ನ ಇವನ್ ಟಿಂಬರ್ ಅಂತ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಫರ್ನಿಚರ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಹಂಗಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅದನ್ನೇ ನಾವು ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಅದರದೇ ಆದ ಡಿಸ್ಅಡ್ವಾಂಟೇಜ್ ಇವೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಬೇಕಾದಷ್ಟು ಒಳ್ಳೊಳ್ಳೆ ಸ್ಪೀಸೀಸ್ ಇವೆ. ಅದನ್ನೇ ನಾವು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೆಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ ಇವತ್ತು. ಅದರಿಂದ
ಅದರಿಂದ ಅಂತರ್ಜಲ ಮಟ್ಟ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ
ಖಂಡಿತ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ನೋಡಿ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ವಿಲ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಲಾರ್ಜ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ದೀಸ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್, ದೇರ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಲಿಟಲ್ ಸ್ಕೋಪ್ ಫಾರ್ ಇನ್ಫಿಲ್ಟ್ರೇಷನ್. ಅದರಿಂದ ಅಂತರ್ಜಲ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಇರೋ ನೀರು ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಹೊಸದಾಗಿ ನೆಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಸೇರ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅದರಿಂದ ಯುಕಾಲಿಪ್ಟಸ್ ಆಗಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ಅಕೇಶಿಯಾ ಆರಿಕ್ಯುಲಿಫಾರ್ಮಿಸ್ ಆಗಲಿ, ದೇ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಗುಡ್ ಟು ಅಸ್, ಗುಡ್ ಟು ದ ಎನ್ವೈರನ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಲಾಂಗ್ ರನ್.
ಓಕೆ ಸರ್, ಈ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟಿಂಗ್ ಏನಾದ್ರು ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆ ಅದು ಇಲ್ಲಿಗಲ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಲೀಗಲ್ ಏನ್ ಪರ್ಮಿಷನ್ ಏನಿತ್ತ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ?
ಹಂಗೆ ನೋಡಿ ನಮ್ದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ ಸ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ಟ್ ರೂಲ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ಕೇಳಿ. ಇವನ್ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ನೋಡಿ, ಇಫ್ ಸಮ್ ಫಾರ್ಮರ್ ಇದು ಅಕೇಶಿಯಾ ಆರಿಕ್ಯುಲಿಫಾರ್ಮಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಬೆಳೆಸ್ತೇನೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಫಾರ್ಮರ್ ಬೆಳೆಸಿ ಯಾರು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ ನೋಡಿ. ಅದರಿಂದ ಬಟ್ ಫಾರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅವ್ರು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಫಾರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅವರು ತುಂಬಾ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಮಾಡಿದಾರೆ ನೋಡಿ, ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ನಿಲ್ಸ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅದನ್ನ.
ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, 2011 ಇಂದಾನೆ ಇಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟೇಕನ್, ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ಡ್ ಇಟ್.
ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ನೋಡಿ, ನಾನು ಐ ಆಮ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಇನ್ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಟಚ್ ವಿತ್ ದೆಮ್. ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ನೋಡಿ, ಎರಡು ನೋಡಿ, ಫಾರ್ ಗಾಡ್ ಸೇಕ್ ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ಡ್ ಇಟ್.
Yes, they have stopped it from 2011.
ಫಾರ್ಮರ್ಸ್ ತಮ್ಮ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಳಿಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಪರ್ಮಿಷನ್ ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ ಸರ್? ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಬೆಳೆದಿದ್ದಾರೆ ನಮ್ಮೂರಲ್ಲಿ.
ನೋಡಿ ರೈತರು ಬೆಳ್ಕೊಬಹುದು, ಏನ್ ತೊಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಅವ್ರ ಇಷ್ಟ ಅದು. ರೈತರು ನೋಡಿ, ನೋ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಅಥವಾ ನೋ ಟ್ರೀಸ್ ಇದು ಬಾರ್ಡ್ ಇದು ಫ್ರಮ್ ಗ್ರೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಇದು.
ಯೂಕಲಿಪ್ಟಸ್ ನ್ಯೂ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟೇಶನ್ ಮಾಡೋವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ ಫ್ರಮ್ 2007.
ಯಾವುದೇ ಕಾಯ್ದೆ ಇದೆ, ರೂಲು ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಏನಿಲ್ಲ, ಬಟ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಸರ್ಕ್ಯುಲರ್ಸ್ ಇವೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇನೆ. ಅದನ್ನೇ ಈಗಿರೋದನ್ನ ತೆಗೆದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಎನ್ಕರೇಜ್ ಅದರ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅವರು. ಎನ್ಕರೇಜಿಂಗ್ ಅದರ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್, ಮೇ ಬಿ ಕ್ಯಾಶೋ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಮ್ಯಾಂಗೋ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ನೇರಳೆ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಪಾಮ್ಸ್ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಇವೆಲ್ಲವನ್ನು ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆದೆಲ್ಲ ಬೆಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದಾರೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಅವರು.
ಓಕೆ ಸರ್. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ನೀವು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರಿ, ರೋಡ್ ಮಧ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಮೀಡಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಈ ಫ್ಲವರಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಬೆಳಿತಾರೆ. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಬೋಗನ್ ವಿಲ್ಲಾ ಆತರ ಎಲ್ಲ ಪಾಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಬೆಳಿತಾರೆ. ಆ ಮೀಡಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಈಗ ಪೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರೋದಕ್ಕೆ, ಸೊ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಸಿಗೋ ತರದ್ದು ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್, ಆ ತರದ್ದು ಏನೋ ಲೀಫಿ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆ ತರ ಬೆಳಿಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅವಕಾಶ ಇದೆಯಾ ಸರ್ ಮೀಡಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ?
ನೋಡಿ, ಮೀಡಿಯನ್ ತಾವು ನೋಡಿರ್ಬೋದು ಥ್ರೂ ಔಟ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ. ಆಫ್ಟರ್ 8 ಲೇನಿಂಗ್ ಆರ್ 10 ಲೇನಿಂಗ್ ಆಯ್ತು ನೋಡಿ. ಅದಾದ್ಮೇಲಿಂದ ಮೀಡಿಯನ್ ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಬೆಳಿತಾರೆ. ಬೋಗನ್ವಿಲಿಯಾ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ನೇರಿಯಂ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ದೆನ್ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಟೈಪ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಬುಷಿ ಕೇಶಿಯಾಸ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಅಥವಾ ಮೆಹಂದಿ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಅಥವಾ ಟೆಕೋಮಾ ಗೌಡಿ ಚೌಡಿ ಅಂತ ಬ್ಯೂಟಿಫುಲ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಬೆಳಿತಾರೆ. ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ ವೆರಿ ಹಾರ್ಡಿ. ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಟೆಕೋಮಾ ಗೌಡಿ ಚೌಡಿ ಅಂತಿದೆ, ಅಥವಾ ಇವನ್ ಬೋಗನ್ವಿಲಿಯಾ ಇಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಹಾರ್ಡಿ, ಏನು ಆಗಲ್ಲ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ. ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಫ್ಲವರ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಬೆಳೆಯೋದ್ರಿಂದ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದೇನಂದ್ರೆ, ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಟ್ರೀಸ್, ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಬುಷಸ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇನೆ, ಬುಷ್. ಅದರಿಂದ ನಾವು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಬುಷ್ ಬೆಳೆಯೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಏನು ತೊಂದರೆ ಏನಿಲ್ಲ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಇವನ್ ನೋಡಿ, ದೀಸ್ ಬುಷಸ್ ಅವಾಯ್ಡ್ ದಿ ಏನಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ನೋಡಿ, ಗ್ಲೇರ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಫ್ರಂಟ್ ಕಮಿಂಗ್ ವೆಹಿಕಲ್ಸ್. ಇದು ಪಕ್ಕದ ಹಾಫ್ ದಿಂದ ಬರುವಂತ ವೆಹಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಗ್ಲೇರ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ. ಅದರಿಂದ ಅದು ಅಡ್ವಾಂಟೇಜ್ ಇದೆ.
Okay, if there are no questions, I will thank sir.
Yeah, I have a question.
Yeah, please.
Sir, like ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಲ್ಲಿ like I see like planting ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಟ್ರೀಸ್ ನೆಲ್ಲ like right now like at least 10 years back ಇಂದ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು ಹೆಂಗೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಈ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಈ ಸಣ್ಣ ಗಿಡಗಳನ್ನ ಅಥವಾ ಮರಗಳನ್ನ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಅಂಡ್ ದೆನ್ ಅದನ್ನ ಸಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಇಂದ ಲೈಕ್ ಅದು ಫುಟ್ಪಾತ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಇದ್ ಮಾಡಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಸಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಇಂದ ಫುಲ್ ಟ್ರೀ ಇದು ಲೈಕ್ ಟ್ರಂಕ್ ತನಕ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಆಗೋ ತನಕ ಇದ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಲೈಕ್ ಹೌ like planned are they doing these things in big cities ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು planting of trees?
ನೋಡಿ, ಈಗೇನ್ ನೋಡಿ, ಟೈಮ್ ಟು ಟೈಮ್ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ದಿ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ಏನಾಗಿದೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಈಗ ಇದೇ ನಮ್ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು, ಟೇಕ್ ದಿ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು ಸಿಟಿ ಕಾರ್ಪೊರೇಷನ್ ಆರ್ BBMP. ಅವರೇ ನೋಡಿ, ದೇ ಆರ್ ಮೇಕಿಂಗ್ ಬಿಗರ್ ಪ್ರೊವಿಷನ್ ಅದು. ಬರೀ ಆ ಸಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನ ತೆಗಿತಾ ಇದಾರೆ, ಕಲ್ಲು ಇದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನ ತೆಗಿತಾ ಇದಾರೆ, ಟೈಲ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ತೆಗಿತಾ ಇದಾರೆ. ದೇ ಆರ್ ಗಿವಿಂಗ್ ಲಿಟಲ್ ಮೋರ್ ಸ್ಪೇಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ದಿ ರೂಟ್ ಗ್ರೋತ್ ಅಂಡ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಟು ಪೆನೆಟ್ರೇಟ್. ಅದರಿಂದ ನಾವು ಅದರಿಂದ ಒಳ್ಳೇದಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಮೊದ್ಲೇಕಿ ತಾವ್ ಹೇಳ್ದಂಗೆ ಏನಿಲ್ಲ, ಫುಲ್ ಸಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಫುಲ್ ಕಲ್ಲು ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು, ಏನು ಬೆಳೀತಾ ಇದ್ದಿಲ್ಲ. ಆ ಗಿಡ ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಅಷ್ಟಿಷ್ಟು ಬೆಳ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು, ಮುಂದೊಂದಿನ ಅದು ಬೀಳ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು. ಅದಾಗ್ತಲ್ಲ. ಈಗ ಒಂದ್ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಸೈಂಟಿಫಿಕ್ ಅಪ್ರೋಚ್ nowadays, ಮೇ ಬಿ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಅಡ್ವೈಸ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಟೇಕಿಂಗ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪರ್ಟ್ಸ್, ಅಂಡ್ ಅಥವಾ ವಿತ್ ದೇ ಮೈಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಲರ್ನ್ ಲೆಸನ್ಸ್ ಥ್ರೂ ದೇರ್ ಮಿಸ್ಟೇಕ್ಸ್. ಅದರಿಂದ ನಾವು ದೇ ಆರ್ ಓವರ್ಕಮಿಂಗ್ ಸಮ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಹರ್ಡಲ್ಸ್ ವಿಚ್ ದೇ ವರ್ ಫೇಸಿಂಗ್ ಅರ್ಲಿಯರ್. ಇದಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಎ ಗುಡ್ ಸೈನ್. ಫರ್ದರ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಮುಗಿತಂತ ಇರಲ್ಲ, ಫರ್ದರ್ ರಿಫೈನ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ದೇರ್. ಅದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಅವ್ರು ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇವನ್ ವಾಟರಿಂಗ್ ನೋಡಿ, ಕೆಲವು ಕಡೆ ಡ್ರಿಪ್ ಲೈನ್ಸ್ ಹಾಕಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಡ್ರಿಪ್ ಲೈನ್ಸ್, ವಾಟರಿಂಗ್ ಥ್ರೂ ಡ್ರಿಪ್ಸ್, ಎಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ ಇನ್ ದ ಇನಿಷಿಯಲ್ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಸ್ಟಾಬ್ಲಿಷ್ಮೆಂಟ್, ಡ್ರಿಪ್ ಲೈನ್ಸ್ ಹಾಕಿನೂ ಎಸ್ಟಾಬ್ಲಿಷ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಕೆಲವು ಕಡೆ, ನಾನು ನೋಡಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ನಡೀತಾ ಇವೆ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ದಿ ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಆಫ್ ಅವೆನ್ಯೂ ಟ್ರೀ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟಿಂಗ್ ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ವಾಟರ್. ಇದು ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಡೈನಮಿಕ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್. ಇದು ಇಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಸಜೆಷನ್ಸ್ ನಾವು ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಸಜೆಷನ್ಸ್ ಅವ್ರು ತಗೊಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಹೊಸದು ನ್ಯೂ ಐಡಿಯಾಸ್ ಆರ್ ಇನ್ಕಲ್ಕೇಟೆಡ್, ಮತ್ತೆ ಹೊರಗಿನವರೆಲ್ಲ ಬಂದು ಅಡ್ವೈಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಎಲ್ಲ ಇದೆ. ಅದರಿಂದ in the days to come, maybe we may come out with a better solution to this issue.
Right. Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot.
ಸರ್ ನಮಸ್ತೆ.
ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ.
ಸರ್, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮಲೆನಾಡಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಅಡಿಕೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಬೆಳಿತಾರೆ. ಇವಾಗೆಲ್ಲ ಈ ಬಯಲ್ಸೀಮೆ ಪ್ರದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾವಿನ ತೋಪು ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ತೆಗೆದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅಡಿಕೆ ಪ್ರೈಸ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಅಡಿಕೆ ತೋಟಗಳಾಗಿ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇದರಿಂದ ಪರಿಸರಕ್ಕೆ ಮೆರಿಟ್ಸ್ ಡಿಮೆರಿಟ್ಸ್ ಏನ್ ಸರ್? ಅಡಿಕೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಬೆಳೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಅಥವಾ ಅಡಿಕೆಯಿಂದ ಏನು ಅಂತ?
ನೋಡಿ, ಅಲ್ಲೇನಾಗಿತ್ತು ನೋಡಿ, ನೀವ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಿರೋದು ನನಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತು ನೋಡಿ. ಎಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ ಇನ್ ದ ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಶಿವಮೊಗ್ಗ, ಎಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ ಇನ್ ದ ಬಯಲ್ಸೀಮೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮೈದಾನ ಪ್ರದೇಶ ಆಫ್ ಶಿವಮೊಗ್ಗ, ದಾವಣಗೆರೆ, ಪಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಚಿತ್ರದುರ್ಗ, ಪಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ತುಮಕೂರು. ನೋಡಿ, ಈ ಭಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಏರಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಡಿಕೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಕಡೆ ನಾನು ನೋಡಿದ್ದೇನೆ, ಪಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಶಿವಮೊಗ್ಗ ಅಂಡ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದಾವಣಗೆರೆ ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ಟ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾವಿನ ಗಿಡ ತೆಗೆದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅಡಿಕೆ ಗಿಡ ಹಾಕಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದೇನ್ ನೋಡಿ, ಇದು ಅಂತ ಗುಡ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ. ಅಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ನೋಡಿ, ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲಿ ನೀರ್ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿಲ್ವೇ, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ದಿನ ನೀರ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಮುಂದೆ ನೀರ್ ಹೋದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಹೋಗೋದು ಅಡಿಕೆನೆ. ದಿ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ರಾಪ್ ಇಟ್ ಡ್ರೈಸ್ ಅಪ್ ವೆನ್ ದ ವಾಟರ್ ಫೇಲ್ಸ್. ಅದರಿಂದ ಅಡಿಕೆ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಅಡಿಕೆಗೂ ಮುಂದೆ ಏನಾದ್ರು ರೇಟ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಸಮಸ್ಯೆ ಉಂಟಾದ್ರೆ ಮುಂದೆ ಅವಾಗ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಇವನ್ ನೋಡಿ, ಯಾವುದೇನೋ ಮೊನೋಕ್ರಾಪಿಂಗ್ ಓವರ್ ಎ ಲಾರ್ಜ್ ಏರಿಯಾ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಗುಡ್. ಮೊನೋಕ್ರಾಪಿಂಗ್ ಆದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ನೋಡಿ, ಎಲ್ಲಾ ರೀತಿಯಿಂದ ಎನ್ವೈರನ್ಮೆಂಟಲ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇವನ್ ಅದ್ರದ್ದು ಏನ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ನೋಡಿ, ಪೆಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಡಿಸೀಸ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇವನ್ ಮುಂದೆ ಫೈನಲಿ ದಿ ರೇಟ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾವುದೇ ಏನೇನಾದ್ರು ಲಾರ್ಜ್ ಸ್ಕೇಲ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಳೆದಾಗ ಓವರ್ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಸಮ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಡಿಮಾಂಡ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಅದು ಬಿದ್ದು ಫಾರ್ಮರ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಇನ್ ಟ್ರಬಲ್. ಅದರಿಂದ ಈ ಕ್ರಾಪ್ ಅನ್ನ ಹುಚ್ಚ ಮ್ಯಾಡ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪಾನ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಅರಕಾನಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಗುಡ್. ಇದು ಲಾಂಗ್ ರನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಪೊಟೆನ್ಶಿಯಲ್ ಡೇಂಜರ್. ಅದರಿಂದ ನಾವ್ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ನೀವು ಟ್ರೈ ಟು ಸಿಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ದಿ ಆಲ್ಟರ್ನೇಟ್ ಕ್ರಾಪ್ಸ್ ರೈಟ್ ನೌ. ನೀವು ಆ ಗಡ್ಡಕ್ಕೆ ಬೆಂಕಿ ಎತ್ತಿದಾಗ ಬಾವಿ ತೋಡಕ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಅದರಿಂದ ಈಗಲೇನೆ ತಾವು ಆಲ್ಟರ್ನೇಟ್ ಕ್ರಾಪ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನೇ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಶುರು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ನೆಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಮುಂದೆ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆದ್ರೆ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ ಇಟ್ ಬೆಟರ್. ಇದು ಅದರಿಂದ ಅಡಿಕೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಓವರ್ ಡಿಪೆಂಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಆನ್ ಅರಕಾನಟ್ ಆರ್ ಮ್ಯಾಡ್ ಏರಿಯಾ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪಾನ್ಷನ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಗುಡ್.
Okay. Sir, I have to wind it up. ನಾನು ಮತ್ತೆ ಬೇರೆ ಒಂದು ಲೈವಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು ಸರ್.
ಮಾಡಿ ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಸ್ ರಾಘವೇಂದ್ರ ಅವರೇ, ವೆರಿ ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಸ್. ಅಂಡ್ ಐ ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಆಲ್ ದಿ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಸಿಪೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಹೂ ಆರ್ ವೆರಿ ಆಕ್ಟಿವ್.
ಅಲ್ಲ, ನಾನ್ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕು ಸರ್.
ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.
ಐ ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಸರ್, ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಎಸ್ ವಿ ಹಿತ್ತಲ್ಮನಿ. ಇವರು ಬಹುಶಃ ತುಂಬಾ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ, ಎಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ ನಾರ್ತ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಗ್ಳೂರ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಸುಮಾರು ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ಸ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ವಾಲ್ವ್ ಆಗ್ತಾರೆ. ನಮ್ ಸೌತ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಗ್ಳೂರ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕಮ್ಮಿ, ಬಟ್ ನಾನು ನಾರ್ತ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಗ್ಳೂರ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಕ್ಕಾಪಟ್ಟೆ ಇನ್ವಾಲ್ವ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅಂಡ್ ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ಯುವರ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಫಾರ್ ಯುವರ್ ಡೀಟೇಲ್ಡ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟೇಶನ್ ಸರ್. ಅಂಡ್ ಐ ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ತೇಜಸ್, is my schoolmate, is the host and is my schoolmate from LKG for providing me technical assistance. And I thank all of you who has participated in the program and who have spread the word to your friends. I thank you everyone. Okay.
Thank you sir. Thank you Raghu Ore. It was a nice session.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thanks sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you. Please, you can stop.